I'm Betty Smith. Bean was my maiden name. My father was James Bean. Mother was Cora Mae Carey. She's from the Carey family. And I grew up in around the Shady Grove area. We lived out in the country that they call Money Bean Holler. That was their allotted land, him and his sisters. We always dressed our cousin in girls' clothes and made him. I think he was aggravated at us all the time. He wouldn't come and visit me very much because I always tell him about that. We made corncob dolls, and I wished I had one of those, but I think I could make one by memory. We'd line up flint rocks, like making a house, and make-believe stove, just piling rocks here and there. And we didn't have cloth then. It was unusual to find a 5x6 cloth. That was quite an adventure for us. Act like we were sewing, like they were making quilts. And sometimes they would give us scraps, and we just make believe. And there wasn't much to go on, but go climb trees, or we'd go with our cousin out in the woods and try to chase squirrels, throwing rocks at them, trying to kill squirrels. Sometimes we'd have pretty good luck. I was about 15 or 16 when I had to take the full responsibility, taking care of the family. My father worked, and at that time it was real hard, and it was Dust Bowl time. When we went to Cherokee, we went to town in a wagon, stayed there all day long. We got to eat ice cream when we went to town, because when it's not like today, you go down and get what you want, but we'd get an ice cream cone. I think it was about a nickel. Run around on the streets there, what we called a little street, boarded sidewalks, and visit with aunts and uncles when they came to town. They were talking Cherokee, and grandfather would talk Cherokee to us because he couldn't talk very much English. And he dearly loved us, so he was always around us. I was the one that more or less took interest in saying a few words. I wish I'd learned fluent Cherokee, but there was nobody to talk to but him. We were sitting outside looking at the moon, and we were sitting out there, and he never did talk English to me at all. He was looking at the moon, and he said, one of these days, he said, somebody's going to get on that moon. I looked at him, I said, oh, they can't get up there, that's too far. And he looked at me, he said, he just said, He said, someday in Cherokee, there will be. And I get to think about that every time whenever the men walked on the moon. I said, that's what he meant. They always talked about owls. And I remember one time that we had gone to church and came in late, and the light we had an old car, and the light shined on a tree, and there was a big white owl sitting there. And my father said, y'all just sit in the car and I'll go out and get a gun. And he went out there and shot at it. Feathers flew all over the place, white feathers. And he said, I'll go pick it up in the morning and see how big it is. So we all, of course we was curious too, we all got up. And he went out there and he was looking around all over. But he never did find that owl. I cooked 3 times a day, breakfast, dinner, and supper. In the mornings it was salt meat for bacon. If we had milk, we made milk gravy, water gravy, and hot biscuits every meal. We didn't get to go to town and eat bread like we do today. And cornbread, beans. Try to fix them different ways so they have better taste, because that's mainly your main source was beans, bean bread, fried bread. When you went down on the creek, you didn't have an oven. You built a fire, a big iron skillet, and fried the whole pan of fried bread. different sizes. And if you had a Dutch oven, you could bake bread down there, which was really a lot of fun to watch the older women because they knew how to control the fire. You could even make cake out there. But had a big garden, because if you didn't, you didn't have greens, because they didn't sell greens in town like you do today. We'd raise radishes, lettuce, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans. It was time to harvest. Well, we'd have to plow up the potatoes and gather potatoes, line them up in the cellars. And my aunt canned everything she could get a hold of. We'd watch her. She'd use these old-timer pressure cookers, and she even canned crawdads, perch.